Chat.
I'll tell you when to start.
Okay. So we start with the test first, eh?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second day of the first year experience orientation. I'd like us to start first with just a little bit of some housekeeping. So I want us to test if the mics and everything are working. So can one of the students in the group please raise their hand? Can one of the students in the group that have just joined, please, could you raise your hand? Thank you very much. So, Mr. Khan, could you say something on your mic? Can you hear me? Good morning.
Dr. Joe, I've opened Angeline Moodley's
mic.
Yes, allowed to talk in.
Angeline, could you unmute yourself and say something? Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, great.
Perfect. Thank you so much, students, for being good sports. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, you can drop your hand now. Thank you. So, welcome everybody to our second day of the orientation. And I hope you guys are excited, are willing to go. And, hopefully this will be a great information session. You pick up some knowledge. And please, if at any point you have any questions, make use of the question and answer section. We have people there that will be able to respond to your questions. So if you feel your question hasn't been responded, please just be patient. They'll get to you anytime soon. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Joseph Jerry. I'll be taking you through, very simple task is to take you through today's programs and proceedings. And then hopefully it'll be something that, will be worth your time coming here, and let's all have a good time. So firstly, you're going to be talking about the general academic rules. You'll be introduced to the general academic rules of the college. And then you're going to also be looking at the specific college, so general academic rules rather for the university. And then you'll be looking at specific college rules that apply in this College of Law and Management Studies. Okay, like any institution where you guys have come from, you've come from somewhere where obviously you've got rules in how to go about your high school. You're welcome to the university. And as you come into the university here also, we have a certain way of doing things. And it's very important for your success, and for your ease of transition that you actually understand the rules and follow through to these rules. So again, like I said, I hope you have a great time, and please feel free. You're going to meet different staff. Take note of them, throw them an email if you want to introduce yourself. And if you have any questions, please make sure that everything is cleared up in these sessions. Remember that these sessions are carrying on, the orientation is going to carry on throughout the rest of the week. So I hope you'll be able to be with us and get as much information as you can as possible. So our first speaker is going to be Petleho. She'll be talking about the general academic rules for the university. Please sit back, relax, and have a good time. Thank you very much. Petleho, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph. Hi, everyone. My name is Petleho, and I'm one of the coordinators that will be helping you and assisting you. Most of you from Sol and Sef, you know me from the group. I'm going to take you through the general rules that we have here at the university. As Dr. Jerry said, like any house, every household, it has its own rules and you need to oblige by them. For the mere fact that you are a registered student, it means that you agreed to terms and conditions of the university. So I'll take you through some of them so that you know what is expected of you and so that you don't find yourself in trouble. The first one that I'm gonna start with is your academic performance. That one is one of the most important rules that you need to take care to know or take note of, so that you can proceed nicely throughout your your degree. So what happens is that if you notice from your, okay, let me see. Oh yeah, if you notice from your registration, after you registered, for those who were able to register, the first thing that you see is that you're on green. Being on green is a good thing for university and even everywhere. So our system, we call it a robot system, because it works like a robot system where green is good. It means that you're going right nicely, you can go ahead. And then orange, it means that there is some questions that you need to take care of. And also red, it means that you are in danger. So that's how our performance guidelines is shaped. So here it's you on green and on your way to your graduation. Since you are a registered student, it means that you want to fulfill your degree, and then you want to graduate at some point, and within the minimum time that is required of you. So here is just you after being registered, and then it's just a smooth road, because now you're registered, you have ambitions, you have goals, you set your goals that you want to graduate in record time. However, as we know, life happens here and there. There are things that might actually get into your way. It might be intentionally, it might be external forces that actually intervene or come your way. So here, from this motorcycle, from this car, it's you on your way to your graduation. Like I said, you are on green. But it might happen that at some point, maybe since most of you are coming to rest, some of you are coming for rest for the first, staying away from parents for the first time, you haven't been anywhere else. So now you feel like you have all the freedom. So it might happen that you move from green, and then you slightly go to at risk. At risk, it means that you didn't pass well, because for you to be on green, you need to at least pass. If you're doing 5 modules, you need to at least pass 4 of your modules. And you need to take note that from those 4 modules, if you fail one of your core modules, it means that you are already at risk. So because your core modules, it means that if you're doing accounting and you fail accounting 101, it means that now you need an additional year, because 101 is a prerequisite for your second year modules. So if you fail a core module, which is economics 101 or accounting 101, it means that now you need an additional year to come back and repeat that 1 year so that you can proceed. So that's where it's going to take you here for you to be at risk. And for you to be at risk, you need to be careful and be like, okay, now I messed up and I made mistakes. Now try by all means to get your way back to the green side. And then from there on, there are some who might get to risk due to partying and everything, and then you are at risk. It means that now, instead of passing 4 modules out of 5, you pass 3. That means that you are at risk. And after being at risk, you continue to do all those things that hinders your academic progress. That means that maybe now, instead of passing 3, now you're passing 2 or 1 module out of 5. That already is a risk. When you are already at risk, now it gets you on red, which is the probation. And from here also, it's up to you to decide whether you should go back to your good, to find help, to find the support, or you continue. If you continue, it's easy. It means that you're going to get excluded from the school. So which means, as we all here, we know that it's not there's no one who can just plan that, okay, I'm going to university so that I can be excluded, because exclusion is not good for anyone. So let's try by all means to be on the safe side, which is the green side. I'll show you how it works on how many modules when I say you need to pass. Here, most of the first years, you usually get 5 modules for first semesters. Although some might get 6, I don't know from which schools, but the schools differs. It depends on the school. So for instance, here, you need to have 6 modules. So each and every module, remember, you have 16 credits. Some modules might be 8. I know from law they have those 8 credits modules and everything. That there's nothing wrong with it. But most minimum credits, it's 60. I mean, say most maximum credits is 16. So it means that here you need to at least get 75%. I think it's, yeah. You need to at least pass 70 to 75% of your modules, which I said it's like it's 4 out of 5, if not 3. So you need to take note of that, and also for you to be on orange, like I said, you start by failing at least 3, and then after you fail 3 and you still continue, there's another, it's called continuous risk. You're gonna be on RSK2 code, which is the second level of being at risk, being continuously at risk. And for you, once you are here, it's not really the end of the world. We are here to help you as the FYE team. You're going to have your tutors, you're going to have your academic development officers. If it's something that doesn't concern the academics, we have student support services where you can go for counseling. It's free of charge. So it's just a matter of you noticing that, okay, I'm not well, and whatever that I'm going through, it hinders my academic progress. So now I need to take a step ahead. You have your mentors. From once everyone is registered, you're going to have your allocated mentor who's going to deal with your issues directly. So your mentor will be the one who will be your sister, your brother, or whoever that you're gonna be allocated to. What you need to do is to seek information from those people so that you avoid moving from this orange to this one, where you'll end up being excluded from the school. The robot system usually changes after a semester. So after each and every semester, the Senate committee, they sit together, and that's where they change the robot system. Okay, let me know if you can see the handbook. So that's where the robot system change, but it's only after a semester. So don't wait until the semester. I remember Prof. Mkize mentioned something about preparing prior to, in time, like doing things in time and don't procrastinate. That's what you need to do. So from now on, what I usually summarize what Prof said is that you need to, failure to plan is it's a plan to fail. So you need to plan ahead, but don't worry about that. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna be with you from the first day, and then we're gonna help you to actually structure your study, we're gonna help you to structure your, can you see my slides? I think from my side it's blinking. Can one of my colleagues confirm?
Yes, we can see Petefo. You can proceed.
So we're going to help you to develop your success plan, where you're going to set your goals, and we're going to ensure that you actually stick to your goals so that you avoid being excluded from the school, or even getting to orange. So that was the academic performance. That's one thing, that's the main thing that we usually check from you, because you are here to actually get your degree. Although there are other things that will happen on the side, but your main focus here is for you to get your degree in record time. So I'm gonna take you through the other rules that you need to know before, since you are now a registered student at UKZN. Okay, wait a minute, it's page 30. Okay, so here are the general rules. We've been circulating this book. We call it a college handbook. We've been circulating it into your group so that you can familiarize yourself with it. For those who are still registering, so that you know which modules to take, and yeah, so that you know what is expected of you. So it's more like a guideline of what you need to do. So here I'll only there are a lot of rules that are happening here, but I'll only touch on those that really involve you. So most of you have been asking us that you actually, if you did Zulu from high school, what is it expected of you? My colleagues will actually get into details from here, but here the general rule says that exemption from a module may be granted without credit where an applicant can demonstrate an equivalent level of competence through prior learning. So this one, the exemption thing, it doesn't only apply to those who have done English. I think for law students, they've been inquiring about English and the general, become general and accounting, they've been asking about Zulu. And also remember that we have people, we have students who are coming from other institutions. So those ones also, what they did is that they actually submitted their academic record on the system. So there are some modules that maybe might be similar to what we are offering at UKZN. So this rule also applied to those ones who are coming from other universities. And then in terms of registration, when you're registering, it means that, remember, I think before you can even get to your registration, there's a point where you need to accept rules and regulations, terms and conditions. So those one, the moment you say yes, it means that you are agreeing to be part and parcel of UKZN, meaning that you're going to oblige to each and every rule that is stipulated in this handbook. And then in terms of fees, here, for some of you have been saying that you are registered, but you have a hold of financial clearance. Financial clearance hold, it means that if you don't have funding, the chances is that you didn't pay for your registration fee. So you pay your acceptance fee of 250, and then later on, after you get your firm offer and everything, you need to pay for your registration fee. After paying for your registration fee, and if you have the offer for res, after you've been allocated, because they said you need to wait for SMS, allocation SMS from housing. After you've been allocated, for you to register for res, you also need to pay your registration fee. So that's where that hold comes from. And then the payments fee, for the if you want to pay for your registration, you go to UKZN fees to 2023. That's where you'll find all the details. And here, in terms of fees also, if let's say you don't have funding and it's it's after a semester where the marks are out, it means that you won't be able to see your marks because you haven't paid there's a certain minimum that you need to pay at some point. So if you didn't pay that, it means that your results will be withheld. So also that you need to pay before you get your marks. And the other thing that concerns the payments of fees is your academic certificate. After you completed your degree and you're still owing at some point, you're gonna need to pay before you get your certificate. So that's where the payment of fees is concerned. And then concurrent registration, it means that you can register here you can register 2 courses at UKZN, or you can be a student at UCT and be a student at UKZN all at the same time. That's where the concurrent registration comes in. And then the period of attendance, it's every candidate for the award of a qualification shall meet the relevant attendance and performance requirements for each module and qualification as prescribed by relevant college. And so this one, let's say your degree is 3 years, and maybe due to unforeseen circumstances, you end up doing your degree, your 3-year degree for 8 years. Which it does happen. We do that, those things happen. So after that, that means that you've already exceeded your period of attendance. So those are the things that you need to take note of. How long is your degree and all those things. And the module registration, you need to, this guide also has the modules that you need to register for. So our colleagues will actually get to that. And then this one, in terms of the prerequisite and co-requisite requirements, like I said, for accounting, for those who are doing accounting 101, accounting 101 is a prerequisite for a second year module. You can't do, if you, let's say you fail your economic accounting 101, it means that you can't proceed to your second year. So it means that this 101 is a prerequisite to your second year module. So you can't proceed until you pass it. And then we also have the core modules that you can't really have your degree without them, like Zulu. For those who haven't done Zulu, you can have your degree without having Zulu in your thing, if you haven't done any module regarding that. And that's not the only core module. Each and every school, it has its own core modules that you need to complete before you can get your degree. So it doesn't help for you to actually opt for all the electives, because we know that electives are nice. You can get your 80s from electives because they are easy and the content is actually relevant. So you can't always take your thing. You can't always opt for electives and forget about your course. So you need to be sure, and also ask your lecturers, if you are not sure, come to us and then we'll guide you. Go to academic development officers. They will also guide you on which modules you need in order for you to get your degree. Because it doesn't help for you to actually pass all the modules with 90s, get the dean's commendation, but only to find that you actually is lacking due to not doing your course. So you won't get your degree by doing that. The absolute modules, this one, it does happen. Let's say you did your 2 years, and then maybe due to unforeseen circumstances, you take a gap year of maybe 2 years. And then when you come back, you find that the modules that you have done before, they are no longer relevant to your course. So that means that those credits that you already achieved before, they will need to withdraw them so that you can do all the modules that are actually relevant to your course. So those are the absolute modules. It means that they're gonna forfeit all the credits that you had if the course, or if the modules are no longer relevant. And the most important thing is your duly performed certificate. This one, we call it a DP. With this one, you need it so that you can go to sports center and write your exams. So the duly performed certificate, how it works is that you need, okay, it depends on the module and how they structure their course. But then you need 50% of attendance. That 50% actually constitutes attendance, all the tests that you've been writing, all the assignments, the tutorials, all the activities that have been happening throughout the semester before the exams. So they're going to take all those marks, they add them together, and then you need to get 50%. That's the pass mark of the DP. That's the DP that you need. You need 50%, but don't ever aim for 50, because if you get 49, that means it's a fail. And once you get 49 of your DP, it means that you can appeal. Yes, here they say you have a right of appeal, but try by all means to move away from all those danger zones, because you don't know how are they gonna take your appeal. You can appeal, maybe they decline it, or you appeal, maybe you are lucky they approve it. So try by all means to move away from anything that would put you in a danger zone. So after calculating your DP, that 50% is the one that you're gonna need for you to qualify for exam. So without a DP, it means that you don't even qualify for exam and automatically you fail the module. So whenever they say there are assignments, tutorials, tests, or everything, just ensure that you pass everything so that you can qualify for exams. You can't just go to exams without writing your test or passing your semester. So that's how the DP works. And okay, okay, examinations, like I said, most of the time the DP contributes 50% and examinations contribute 50% of your semester mark, so that you can, but it, like I said, it depends on the lecturer. So it's not always like that. Some they can say exam is 50%, some they can say 70%, some they can say 60%. And these are the details that you need to get from your lecturers on the course outline. Each and every module will have the course outline. That's where you'll find all those, your test dates, your assignment dates, all the submission dates will be there, and what is it, or how much each test will contribute towards your DP, and how much will the exam mark actually contribute to your final mark. So those are all those details, you'll get them from your lecturers, but you just need to be aware of those things that they are happening, so that so that you don't wait until the last minute and be like, I didn't know that I need to pass my semester so that I can qualify for exams. And then there are exam scripts. After writing your exams, it's up to a lecturer whether you, but most of the time you have access to your exam scripts. You go and check, and then if there's any remarking that needs to be done, you're gonna talk to your administrators and your lecturer. There are payments that needs to be paid, so that you can so that your exam can be remarked again. And supplementary examination. Supplementary examination is, let's say you got the DP, you were able to, but your DP was not that well. Maybe you got 40 something, and then you appealed. Maybe they were like, okay, it's fine. Or maybe you got 50 on the dot of your DP, but then from the exams you failed, maybe you got 49. So it means that your marks are not balancing. You're not going to get your 50% pass mark. Oh, by the way, at the university, pass mark is 50%. Getting anything less than 50% is a complete fail. But here, the supplementary exam, let's say you passed, you got your DP, and then from your examination, you get 40 something, and then now your semester mark, it's, let's say, I think it's from 45, you get sub from 45%. So let's say you got that 45%, you will be granted supplementary examination. And never ever opt for supplementary, because supplementary is way even harder than the examination. But yeah, like I said, it depends on the modules and everything. But yeah, that's where you get, that's where the supplementary examination, it means that you're given another chance to actually, because for the mere fact that you got for something, maybe there might be something that hindered your progress, and then you have the potential to actually pass. So that's where the supplementary examination comes in. And then the special exam, this one, special exams only applies when you're doing your final year. Let's say when you're doing your final year, let's say you are left with 2 modules. Maybe you failed somewhere, and then unumlenze, usually call it umlenze, because yeah, that's how they usually, for those who will be staying at rest, you'll hear this most of the time from the senior students, that there's something called umlenze. Umlenze, it means that you have a module outstanding that you didn't pass. So you'll have that, let's say you have 2 of them. So you'll qualify for special exam only if you are left with 2 modules in your final year. So those are the exemptions for special exams. You don't get a special exam if you are not, if you're still doing your second year and all those things. Standard supplementary examination, we've dealt with that. Limitation on award supplementary. on special exams. Is supplementary or special aggregate examination shall not be granted in respect of a supplementary examination awarded in terms of, okay, this one, let's say you got you got 48, and then you go and write your supplementary, and then you come back with 46. There is no way they will grant you another supplementary. They only give you one chance, and then after that, that's it. So this is where this rule comes in. And then completion of modules. This is where I was telling you that please ensure that you're registering for correct modules, and you actually ensure that you have all your course and correct electives. And with the electives, choose the ones that are approved by your school. And then pass mark, like I said, it's 50%. Anything less than 50%, 49 point something, is a fail. So there is no such, or I know of high school, maybe there was some exemption where 30% can actually get you somewhere, but here it's either you get 50% or not. So please, guys, don't ever aim for 50%, because anything could happen. You can miss half a mark, and then it means that you're gonna fail. So these are the classification of results that we have here at UKZN. Like I said, less than 50% is a complete fail. And then we have classes of how you actually do it. So for those who are getting 75% upward, it's their first class. And then 70 to 74% is second class upper division, and then 60 to 69% is the lower division, which is the second class, and then the third class is the 50 to 59. For those who will be sitting with the seniors, please don't listen to them when they tell you that 51% is a distinction. There is no such. Getting 51%, it means that you are actually on a thin line or on a fine line to fail. So please don't listen to them when they actually tell you that, oh, for the mere fact that at least upunyugile and all those things. Don't listen to those kind of things. Try by all means to stay in your first class, so that when you fall, you can bounce on the 70 to 74%. You'll have all the support that you get. You're gonna have your mentors who will be there for you. If your mentors have can solve some of the things, they will come to the coordinator. The coordinator, you'll from the FYE team, you'll have your tutors, you'll have your academic advisors, you'll have your lecturers, you'll have your admins. So you'll have all the support that will actually ensure that you pass. And even in terms of the exclusion, the school doesn't exclude you immediately. There are processes that you need to follow. They're gonna give you all the support that you need before they can actually make a final decision. So by the time they make a final decision, they would have tried everything before they can actually say that now that we can't really help. And then the academic exclusion, this one, it's actually coming from those robots where you actually move from green to orange, and then you stay on orange for some time, and then they take you to red, which is underperforming. They will try by all means. Maybe if you were supposed to do 3 modules for that semester, they will say, okay, since you're struggling, at least do 2 modules. And then from those 2 modules, at least you need to pass 1. But if you fail both of them, then they will still give you the right to appeal. And then until a certain point, I think the process of consideration is such appeal shall be approved by Senate. Okay, yeah, so they will give you so many chances before they can actually make a choice of moving you. Once you move from red to purple, it means that you are already, they're going to exclude you from the school. So try by all means to move to not get yourself into that side. The ethics, this one is very, very serious. It can even get you out of the university before you can even get to red, because copying, it's a plagiarism. They call it plagiarism at university. It's a serious case where you can be suspended from the school. So what you should do when you're writing your assignments, from this one, you're gonna have your mentors, you're gonna have you ask your lecturer, how do we go about it if maybe they give you assignment. you have your writing place where you can go and actually inquire about that. How do we actually avoid plagiarism? Because that one, for you to go, let's say maybe they give you an assignment and then you just go to, let's say it's like, it's an essay, and then maybe let's say the economy of South Africa, how is it doing? And then you go to Google and you say, how is the economy of South Africa doing currently? And then you copy and paste as it is. That's a plagiarism. You need to write things in your own way, in your own words, but those are the things that they're going to teach you on how to actually go about writing your assignment. Even if it's a last day or last minute, don't ever copy and paste, or taking or copying in the exams where you go with your paper and then it's written if all the details, and then that's also plagiarism. Or maybe taking your friend's assignment and then copy it and submit it. That's also plagiarism. So try by all means to move away from that, because that can actually get you suspended before you can even get to orange. So that one, they won't even check if you are on green or not. So do try by all means to actually stay on a good side. And I guess that was it from me. Unless if I forgot something, my colleagues will actually take over. Thank you very much. Dr. Jared.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I was the network is a bit slow on my side. Thank you very much, Sisipo. Our next speaker is going to be talking about the college rules for the bachelor's degree, which is Mr. Zulu and Mr. Mkonza. Hello?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Jerry. We are here.
The network is very bad. So our next speaker
Yes, sir. Go
so
ahead.
our next speaker is going to be looking at the college rules for the bachelor's degree, which is Mr. Zulu and Mr. Mkonza. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so very much, Dr. Jerry. I'm gonna go first, and then once I'm done, I will ask my colleague, Mr. Mkonza, to join and proceed. So let me first share my screen. Okay, I trust that everyone can hear me. Okay, good morning.
Here you are, Simali. So please just present deliver on presentation mode.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, good morning, students and colleagues. My name is Simenaliso Bayabonga Zulu. As indicated yesterday, I am the FYE coordinator in the foundation program. And perhaps maybe before I start with my presentations, I would like once again to congratulate all the first year students for this milestone achievement of being accepted to study at one of the prestigious university, not only in South Africa, but in the rest of the world as well. So these are the basic things that you as a student or as a prospective UKZN student that you need to know, that we are really one of the top recognized university in the whole world. And especially when it comes to research, we are actually the top university. So you have indeed made a good decision to study at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. And we are hoping that once you have completed in the next 3 or 4 years your studies, and then you will further your studies to honors, masters, and PhD, as Prof. Mkhize has mentioned yesterday. And basically, what you need to know as well as a student is that university is quite a large institution. It's like it's a city on its own. It's a very big university that is divided into different colleges. So we've got the University of KwaZulu-Natal, and then within that, we've got 4 colleges. So the college that you belong, or the college, if you are not registered yet, that you are going to belong to, it's the College of Law and Management Studies. So you are studying at the University of KwaZulu-Natal under the College of Law and Management. And within the college, there are different schools where you will be studying your various degrees that I'm going to talk about, and my colleague is going to talk about as well. So we've got the School of Law, where you'll be doing your LLBs and so on. We have the School of Management, IT and Governance, where you'll be doing your management studies, HR, marketing, supply chain, and so on. And then we have the School of Accounting, Economics and Finance, SAFE. That is where you will do your taxation modules, your accounting modules, economics modules, and so on. So it's very important that you as a student, you are able to differentiate all these categories of schools that are under the College of Law and Management. And I would like to touch once more on this policy. This is one of the most critical and important policies in the college and the university as a whole. So I would like to put an emphasis on it as well. I know my colleague, Ms. Makaleng, has touched on this policy, but I would like once again to touch so that you can see what do we mean by the academic monitoring and exclusion policy. Because as you've been accepted to study at UKZN, these are the basic policies that you as a student, you need to know. So we as the coordinators, the administrators within the schools, the lecturers and so on, the basic thing that we want to see from you guys is to be on the good academic standing. That is the basic academic skill that we want you to see from going forward after you've registered. However, we know that due to certain circumstances, you might not be always on the good academic standing. But what we want to emphasize, reiterate, and encourage and motivate and inspire is that try by all means to be always on the good academic standing position. So the academic monitoring and exclusion, it's a policy that applies to all UKZN registered students. So the academic monitoring and exclusion policy, it's based on a system of classifying students' academic performance as good, whereby you are on green, at risk, and severely underperforming, with appropriate interventions and actions for each category. So as if you have already registered or you haven't registered, so the university is going to view you as being on a good academic standing. Every undergraduate student's performance is assessed at the end of each semester. So as I've stated, you are already on good academic standing, you've passed your matric, you've got distinctions and so on. Therefore, we view you, since you've been accepted, as being on good academic standing. Therefore, the status is going to change if you are not performing, not now, but at the end of the first semester after you have written your examinations. And the status based on the academic performance and at the end of semester or subsequent supplementary exams is determined and reflected on the student administration system as green, orange, and red, So these are the basic systems that we as the university use in order to assess your performance at the end of each semester. So this, the purpose of this policy is to enable the underperforming students to be identified as early as possible so that they can be offered some academic, personal, or career counseling. So we know that some of you might not perform well. So therefore, this policy now comes in to ensure that it minimizes the dropout rates, it minimizes the failure rates, so that you can be able to go back to green if you are not already on green in the first of each and every semester. So the appropriate interventions, systems of support are expected to be to reduce dropout rates and exclusions to improve throughputs and completion rates. And remember that it's quite important, guys, to ensure that you set goals for yourself. That my goal is to ensure that I complete my degree on the prescribed period of time. It's very critical. If you'll be doing general degree, which is 3 years, ensure that by these 3 years, I want to complete my qualification, to complete my degree. If it's an extended program, it's 4 years, set your goals that I want to complete this qualification within the minimum period of 4 years. Specifically, implementing this policy means that no academically underperforming student will be excluded from the university in their first year of study. So this policy wants to ensure that you guys who are not performing well, there's certain support, student support that becomes available so that we ensure that you are not excluded from the university in your first year of study. However, it also means that if a student does not respond to support interventions, mentorship, and so on, and you continue to underperform, you will be required to appeal for readmission to the same college or different college after 3 semesters at UKZN. So if I may say this in a Zulu as well, university umuntu ayimsukeli. That means we know that as the university, there are certain criteria that you will not meet. Therefore, there will be certain interventions that will be put into place to ensure that you pass. However, if you are not participating to those interventions, to those mentorship, therefore, the university will now take a decision which is not good to exclude the student from the university. So we do not want to, I'm sure that you do not want to find yourself in that position. And guys, I'm not scaring you, but it's something that you need to know from the get-go, that if I'm not serious on my studies, these are the things that might happen in the near future. So students will be finally excluded from the university on account of poor academic performance after all other avenues have failed to restore their academic performance to the required level. Now the question is, what are those other avenues? Those other avenues, it's the mentorship project or the mentorship support. Remember that as a student, you will be given 2 mentors, which is a peer wellness mentor and a peer academic mentor. So you need to make sure that you attend those mentorship sessions. You sign a register. A register is an official document. You participate in all activities that your mentor is asking you to participate in. You attend sessions on Zoom or Microsoft Teams or on WhatsApp, group chats, so that we can see that you are serious about your studies. You want to improve. so that the university does not exclude you. But if you are not participating after we have given you 2 mentors, which will be an academic mentor and a wellness mentor, and they want to assist you. If you do not listen to these senior students, you do not participate. Therefore, the university will be left with no choice but to take the decision to exclude you for the period of 1 year. And with regards to good academic standing, maybe some of you might ask themselves, what do we mean by good academic standing? As I've stated, that the new students, as you're a new student, you will be registered for the first time, and you will not have been transferred from any other college or university. And you are initially deemed to be a good academic student, and you'll be coded as green. So everyone, all of you will be coded as green. If you have officially registered, you are already on green. So you're a good student, a good academic student. So you need to make sure that you continue to be on good student up until you finish your studies. So a student remains on green, provided that you have passed at least 75% of the maximum expected credit load to date, and also has passed 70% or more of the normal credit load in any of the given semester. So you need to make sure that you pass, and each and every module at an undergraduate level, it's given a 16 credit load. So that 16 credit, what do we mean by it? We mean that you need to dedicate 160 hours in a semester so that you ensure that you pass that module that you are studying. If you're studying 4 modules, then that means you need to make sure that you give yourself enough time to study each module so that you obtain at least 75% of the maximum expected credit load so that you can remain on green. So these are regarded as acceptable performance levels, and optional counseling and support will be available should you request it as well, although you are on green. And at risk, if at the end of the first semester, you find yourself to be at risk, we are giving you a warning that a student who is at risk is required to participate in the compulsory developmental program, including the academic counseling, a possible modified curriculum, as well as a student counseling for personal, life skills, and career counseling. So these are very important so that you ensure that you go back to being on green. So a student at the end of any semester will be deemed at risk when his or her performance is above the applicable minimum progression requirements for that qualification, which is LLB or BCom or Bachelor of Business Administration and so on, and is not at the level of green. That means you have not passed 75% of the maximum expected credit. So therefore, you'll be deemed to be at orange. Fewer than 70% of the normal credit load has been passed in the current semester. So it means at least fewer 7% of the normal credit load has been passed in the first or current semester, and credits are below the applicable minimum progression requirements for that qualification or college, but the student has been registered for 1 semester only. The student is placed on academic probation with specific realistic conditions. Even if such student is performing below the applicable minimum progression requirements, you will still remain at risk provided that you continue to meet the academic and the set progression requirements, which are reviewed each semester. Okay, let's say, for instance, you have found yourself to be in this position whereby you are at green. You'll be identified, and once you are identified, guys, make sure that you attend the compulsory developmental program. I cannot overstate the importance of ensuring that you attend to these developmental programs, because they are there to assist you. Either if you have personal issues that are affecting your academic studies, there will be a developmental program that will assist you. If you need life skills support or career counseling, you want to change your qualifications, you want to do another degree, you will discuss that with the professional that will be assisting you so that you can go back to green, because that is where I am desiring. That is where your lecturers are desiring. That is where your family as well is desiring to see you pass the modules that you are doing and eventually graduate on time. So make sure that you attend to these developmental programs, because they are there to help you develop skills that are important for you to go back to green. Red, underperforming. A student will be coded red when his or her performance falls below the applicable minimum progression requirements for that qualification or college and has been registered for 2 semesters or more. So the first time a student becomes on red, that means the student is placed on a very strict academic probation. After compulsory academic and personal academic counseling, so that means if you were here at risk, you've been identified that you are at risk, you did not attend the life skills support, the career counseling, and so on, that means you'll be placed on red, on strict academic probation. You may be permitted to continue in the same qualification or may be advised to redirect to another qualification in the same college or another college. So if you are not attending to these mentorships, if your mentor is sending you emails to meet with you on Zoom so that you guys can discuss on how to improve your academic performance, if you are ignoring those emails and so on, you will be placed on this strict academic probation. So it's very critical that you attend to such developmental programs. If a severely underperforming student, if you're on red and you respond, here's the good part about being on red. So that means if you as a student, you're a good student, you are responding to these developmental programs, to these interventions that are meant to assist you to achieve a probation requirements and eventually works back to good academic standing, which is green, you will be deemed to be rehabilitated, and the previous period as green will not be considered should subsequently lapse. So it's very important, guys, that you work on yourself if you have found yourself to be in this academic probation. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna quickly stop sharing this screen, and then I'm gonna go to the college handbook, whereby I will be looking at the School of Law qualification, which is LLB, and then my colleague, Mr. Mkonza, is going to discuss the degrees from the other schools, which is the School of IT and Governance and the School of Accounting, Economics and Finance. So I'm going to quickly stop sharing my screen while I am going to Okay. So this is as my colleague Miss Makaling mentioned that this is a college handbook, and guys, I would like to advise you that please make this handbook your friend, because it contains pivotal information about your academic studies at UKZN. So it's very important that you keep it to your file or on your desktop, on your laptop or computer, so that you always visit it should you have any queries that are related to your academic studies. So I'm just going to quickly look at the LLB qualification. And the LLB qualification, as the word itself says, law. So this is a professional law degree. And it's also an academic qualification required for admission. And for instance, as an advocate in the near future, and has become the usual academic qualification for attorneys. So if you want to become an attorney, an advocate, a judge, and so on, that means you are in the right direction for studying the Bachelor of Laws. And the majority of the judges in the whole country, they are the holder of an LLB. One of the prominent one who was previously the Chancellor of the University of KwaZulu-Natal is Chief Justice Mogoeng, who is the former Vice Chancellor of the University of KwaZulu-Natal, is also the holder of the LLB from the University of then Natal, which is now the University of KwaZulu-Natal. So if you want to go into that route, then you are in the right direction. So this qualification extends over 8 semesters of a full-time study or 12 semesters of a part-time study. So you can do this qualification part-time or full-time, and then lectures in the part-time LLB program held after hours. And then the LLB degree is also offered as a second bachelor's qualification with credits of up to a maximum of 260, granted for certain modules taken as part of prior qualifications. And for those of you who will be studying LLB, so the day while you are at high school, you applied for this qualification, I'm sure that you acknowledged the minimum requirements that are required so that you can be accepted to study this qualification. I'm not going to go through them. If you've already been accepted, that's good. And the structure of this qualification is that there will be modules that will be expected to register in the first semester or in the first year of study, modules that we are expected to register in the second year of study, in the third year of study, and in the last year of study. So all these modules will not be the same, and they will be taught by different lecturers who are qualified to give lectures on that particular module. So in the first year, if you could look closely at my screen. So this will be the curriculum for the first year of your study if you're in this program. And the level of the credits that you are expected to achieve will be the 128 credits. And each semester you'll be registering for 4 modules. So in level 1, these are the 4 modules that you will take.
Sorry, Smangaliso.
Yes.
You didn't change your screen. You're still on the classification of academic performance.
Oh, okay. Okay, I trust that you can now see my screen, which is the CLMS handbook.
Yeah, it's sorted.
Yes, sincere apologies about that. Yes, as I was describing that, as you will be studying LLB in your first year of study, these are the modules that will be expected to register, which is the introduction to law, non-legal modules, and so on and so on and so on. So, and also in the year, in the semester 2, these are the modules as well that will be expected to remester. So in this column, which is semester, number 1 is for the first semester, number 2 is second semester. So these are the modules that you will be expected to register so that you can achieve an aggregate of 128 credits. So you need to, each and every year, you need to accumulate 128 modules so that you can complete your qualification in the expected prescribed period of time, which is 4 years in the case of LLB. And in the year 2, these are the modules as well that you need to register for. In the first semester, criminal law, family law, law of persons, legal research, writing and reasoning. And then in the semester 2, it's constitutional law, elect, human rights, interpretation of law, property law, and so on. And as you can see here, we're on level 2 now. In this level 2, this is year 2, you need to accumulate 128 modules or credits. Now, moving on to level 3, which is year 3. And now this is your 2023, and this is your 2024, and this is your 2025 year. And then in 2025, you'll be expected to register for these modules, which is contracts, international law, professional training, specific offenses, succession, accounting for legal practice, the criminal procedure, evidence, jurisprudence, legal diversity, labor law, and so on. And the credits that you need to accumulate in this year, which is year 3, is 128 credits again. So now you can see how many credits that you have. First year, 128, second year, 128, and then third year, 128. Now we are going to year 4, which is your final year of study. This is 2026. So as I'm on 2026, for those who will be doing this qualification, I want you now to envision yourself in the year 2026, whereby you are now choosing from this module list the modules that you will be studying. So these are parts of the modules that you will be selecting: administrative law, insurance and agency, professional training, sales and credit agreements, civil procedure, corporate law, negotiable instruments, security and insolvency, public interest law, clinic law, teaching legal skills, street law, and the other electives. And the other electives, as you can see in this screen, as you can see, my cursor is moving below these modules, which are the electives. So it will be up to you as a student, which electives do you want to choose so that you can add to those modules that you will be studying, so that you can accumulate enough credits so that you can graduate on time. And then once you have finished your year 4, which is now 2026, the total credit for this qualification should be 520. If you've achieved the 520 modules or credits, that means now you have successfully completed your LLB. You have you have met all the minimum requirements. And if you have met all the minimum requirements, that means you have completed your qualification, and then you can now see yourself walking on stage to receive your qualification during the graduation ceremony. And beyond this session, I will be still available to provide some further clarification in terms of how to assist you so that you can pick up the correct modules as well as with the other qualifications in the other schools as well. So it should be your goal to ensure that you achieve this credit so that you can graduate on time. And in conclusion, I would like to conclude, guys, with the famous quotation by the late Nelson Mandela that says, "An education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. But I want you to use this tool, which is education, to change your circumstances beyond everything that can happen in your life. But if you hold this, you ensure that you finish your qualification in time and have the good associations with yourself. Remember that I said yesterday, the university is quite different from high school. In order to be successful at university, you need to associate yourself with the people or with the organizations that are at the university, which share the same vision with yourself. If you have done that, I guarantee you that you will succeed with minimal issues that you can face. Thanks so very much. And I would like now to hand over to my colleague, Mr. Mkonza. Mr. Mkonza, are you online?
Yes, thank you, Smangaliso. But I think with the efforts to try and keep with time, I don't know how much time do I still have, Dr. Jerry. I'm going to say for the other degrees, perhaps, or the other qualifications, I think you can email us and consult with us. And we'll also probably just have another session so that we can go through the modules that you should have. We've also, I remember in the group for SMIG, we've also highlighted the modules that you should have so that when you are registering, you can check whether you're correctly registered or not. And there are questions that are obviously arising in terms of, programs like BBA or Bachelor of Business Administration, where people are saying, can we please change it from being part-time to full-time and all of that. So that can happen. And it's part of what we're going to discuss today. So I think perhaps I can just address those questions quickly and then move and hand it over to Sis Pindis Melanie. I think we are headed right on the edge now of using her time. So in terms of the Bachelor of Business Administration, the program is a part-time program and you have evening classes. But I don't want you to feel bad because you see maybe your friends are doing, your public administration or the Bachelor of Public Administration, and you feel like because I'm attending on the evening, my program or my degree or my qualification is not important. It is important. And I remember a couple of years back, I was helping a student who didn't want the program and they got it. And this year they were just completing their honors. So it's very, very important that if you are qualifying for that program and you've gotten an opportunity to go into that program, don't listen to other people now who are not in your program, who are gloating about their degrees, and then you think that your degree is not as important. So with regards to that degree, it is a part-time program, it is on the evening, but it is important and it will open a lot of doors for you during the sessions we're going to have in terms of what other opportunities are you going to have. I know some of you just went there by default because there was nothing else that you could get, but there are a lot of opportunities that now that you are in it, you can actually learn more about it so that you can fall in love with it and actually make the best out of it. And the second question is with regards to the isiZulu. I know a lot of people are afraid of taking isiZulu because maybe they are not Nguni speakers, but I can assure you that if you are required to do isiZulu, you will probably do well. A lot of people that are not Nguni speakers, they do actually very well in isiZulu as a module, and it ends up being their favorite module, when at first they were actually skeptical. So I would say that this is the rule. So if you are Nguni speaking, which means you are a Zulu speaker at home, however, you have not done the isiZulu as a subject in your matric or at your high school. So now what you're going to do is you are going to contact the department, and they will tell you, they will assess you, and they will see. So if maybe you are a Nguni speaking person and you're quite good, you might end up doing the Zulu M105 instead of Zulu N101. So now with that, for instance, the other one is slightly a little bit more easier because it's for people that are not Nguni speaking. And then the other one is for people that can speak the language but have not done it, or maybe cannot write it and all of that. So you might end up having to do, being required to do a module that is slightly just at your level. So you need to find out first, before you go and register for the module, you need to check which one you should be registered for. And for those that are Nguni speakers, they will get a substitute module that they're going to do. So they will not be allowed to register for the Zulu 101 module. So there is an English module that is a substitute instead. So you will be doing that one, especially for those that are registered for the BCom accounting degree. So there is an alternative. You can either do Zulu 101 or you can do the English module. You're just going to have to ask more about it more on our WhatsApp groups so that we can assist you. But and also, if you are confused about your modules, also do email us. Do send a WhatsApp on the WhatsApp group so that we can assist you as quickly as possible. Like I said yesterday, we don't want a situation where you end up registered for the incorrect modules and you only realize it in second semester or early next year when you are told that you are blocked and you can't do your second year because you need to go back to first year. So it is important for you to really, really check. Don't get overexcited just because you're registered and say, oh, wow, I'm in, and relax. You need to check everything. The handbook that you were being shown now is like your Bible. That's where there are rules about how you need to conduct yourself here at university. That's where there are rules about what happens if you don't conduct yourself appropriately. That's where there are rules of what happens if you get injured. That's where there are rules of what happens if you hurt someone. So it's very, very important for you to read those rules. What happens if maybe you scam someone, you steal something, and you fight with someone? You need to know all of those because there are people that are naughty in this group. You know, I grew up in rural areas. You grew up being told that, hey, you can fight, and you think that you have to fight everywhere. So there's going to be problems, and you may end up being excluded from the university. So you need to read up on those rules and be familiar with them. And also, there's going to be times where there are protests and you get excited and you do the wrong thing. You need to see what happens if you are caught committing a crime at the university. So you need to read all of those rules so that you can know how to conduct yourself as a student in this institution. And also, as part of that, there are also rules about how you need to progress now in terms of your studies. So I hope that will be very helpful. But if you don't understand, you come to us and we'll assist you. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Staviso and Smangaliso, for the word that you've just put in. I think the moral of the story for all of us prospective students who have registered to take out of this is that the university is a big place, it's a very complex place, but one of the things that help us get through the university, the main thing that helps us get through our degrees is our handbook. Now, a lot of students ask fellow students, you know, for what happens when this goes on and so on and so forth. Don't stick to rumors. What you want to do is to stick to the facts. The handbook is, as Mr. Mkwanza put it, is our Bible in the college. So the handbook has all the rules on how to go about it, what your program, what modules you should be doing in your program, and so on and so forth, and everything. So guys, make sure that we familiarize ourselves with the handbook so that we can have a smooth sailing, an easy transition, and a very nice time when you are in the university. So our next speaker now is Ms. Pindile Simelane. And now Ms. Simelane is going to be talking about something I think that is very, very core to all of us, is the concept of registration. So all of those, you know, registration who have got registration issues or want to understand how registration is going on, how it's done, please let's be attentive and give an ear to Pindi, Ms. Simelane to say something. So Ms. Simelane, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to be here. I'm going to try my best not to spend any more time than necessary on this session. I've seen a lot of questions that have been coming up on the Q&A concerning the registration. I see a degree that I accepted last year and I don't want to offer to accept that. I want something else. There's quite a lot that has to do with registration, but thank you so much, Dr. Jerry, for the introduction. It's good to be here and welcome to all of you. You've taken the first step and the rest is really up to you. And we believe that you can make it. With all the assistance that we've got to offer you, I think you can make it. Please forgive me for not having the background. I'm in the office, so it interfered with the light a lot. All right, there are 3 steps that we administer at the college office. The first one is the offer, we call it an admissions. And the second one is where you have to play your part by accepting that offer. And then the third one is to help you with registration. Due to time, I think I will rather tackle the few questions that I've seen so far. For example, I've seen that I've accepted my offer, but I haven't received an email to register, or I've accepted an offer for social science, but I want to do BCom and I don't see my BCom offer. What happens in that, in the process is that once you are given an offer, the system says, okay, I'm waiting for you now to accept the offer. So you can either decline the offer or accept the offer. If you leave it as it is, the system might just stay in that very first offer that you have. So if you had Bachelor of Social Science as an offer, and then you had BCom as an offer, if you don't decline the social science offer, the system might just all the time show you that you've got a social science offer. So it's very important that you go back, you make a decision, you withdraw or decline that offer so that the next offer can show. We did have a glitch with our system, but we've really worked hard on it and we've enhanced it so that all your offers may show at the same time. Another question that I've seen is I've requested assistance when I was registering and I'm waiting, now I can't register. The most popular question is, now I can't register. We don't even get details of why you can't register. It's very important for us to try and help you, and that it's a core of why we are here. So we need to know, if you say I can't register, please provide us with details. This is what I see on the system. This is an error that is showing. This is a pop-up message that I see. This is the color that I see. Give us an indication, because we know the system from the other end of having created the system. So what you see is not what we see, but if you tell us what you see, then we are able to help you. The question of requesting assistance, as a first-year student, I'm not sure why you will click on request for assistance. That is for returning students who have questions. For example, I want to do this module. This module is a prerequisite for my majors. I don't see it on the structure online. Then they click request for assistance. Now you must be careful. One of the speakers has already said, when you are online where you are, when you are at university, don't get overexcited and click, because that now delays the process. Because once you click, somebody has to attend to that query. We have to attend to what you have sent through to us. So when you click something, make sure that you click because there's a reason to click. As a first-year student, our system is very user-friendly. I know I'm going to get a lot of opposition saying that, but it's user-friendly. For first year, it will tell you, for this semester, you need to select 48 credit points. So that's what you do. For this semester, you need to select this much. From this group, you need to select this many. So you follow just those instructions and guidelines. Now, when you look on the online system, you've got a circle, I think it's on the left, and a block on the right. The one part is where you tick when you're registering a module. Another part are your timetable blocks. The system will not allow you to go through with your registration if you haven't ticked any of that. So you tick the circle for registering a module, you tick the block for selecting a timetable. I know I've seen a lot of issues about timetable blocks and where do I retrieve my timetable and things like that. The most important thing is try and avoid clashes. Clashes are created by selecting the same letter. If it's A, B, C, D, and E for the first module, then you have A, B, C, D, and E for the second, third, fourth, and the fifth module. Select different blocks for all these modules within the one semester. Then you don't have clashes. Then the system will easily put through your registration. The biggest issue we have at the college office, especially when it comes to acceptance of offers, the delays are caused by incorrect documents that are sent through, documents that are not certified. Somehow we seem to think that when we take the photos of the documents and they're in color and they are original, that is more than enough. It is not sufficient. The university requires certified, officially certified documents. So you take it to the post office, you take it to the nearest commissioner of oaths who can certify it for you. The certification cannot be older than 3 months. So we have to check all these things. When you're accepting your offer, we have to look at your documents. Have you uploaded all the documents according to your offer? If you are offered an offer with residence, have you uploaded the residence form as well? If you don't have funding, have you uploaded the proof of payment to accept the offer? So these are the issues that are a back and forth where we have to say, upload this, you haven't done this. So it takes longer for you to have an active registration on the system. Another issue that I have seen is a question about the remarking of metric subjects. Can I get into a certain degree after I've remarked and I meet the entrance requirements? Now, doing that is a bit dangerous. Yes, you may apply. We do have a process that is called an internal transfer process where, as a registered student, you are able to choose that, no, I don't feel comfortable with this degree anymore. I'd like to change it to something else. Or in this case that I'm referring to, I've remarked one of my, say, maths. I had maths level 4, now I've got maths level 6, and I'd like to move on to a degree that requires me to have maths level 6. Yes, you may do that. The danger in that, though, is that there are subjects in the second semester that require subjects that are offered in the first semester. So you might miss the prerequisite in the first semester whilst you register in the second semester. As a result, you might end up registering 3 out of 5 subjects because you don't have the prerequisite of the other 2 subjects. And that, as the previous speakers were talking about the rules and the progression rules and the academic exclusions and the risk and the orange and the red and the green, that actually impacts on your progression. So when we look at the end of the year, we look at how far you are in your degree based on the expectation that your degree requires. For example, at the end of the 2 semesters, we expect you to have passed more than 75% of your subject, of your modules. So taking lesser subjects in a semester will now cause you to have less, meaning that you're going to be looked at as an underperforming student. So it's very dangerous to change the degrees in the middle of the year. But yes, you may apply for it after the remark. If you feel that you have obtained the mark that you want and change your degree, yes, you may. The issue of isiZulu, I've seen it quite a lot as well on the Q&A. isiZulu is not in competition with any language. It was introduced by the university as means of transformation, as means of recognizing the country that we live in. So if you have done isiZulu at school, as Tabiso has said, you go for an assessment, and then, okay, you don't have to go for an assessment if you've done it at high school. We can actually retrieve that information, and we are able to see that you've done it in high school. We give you an exemption. An exemption means you are exempted from doing that module, so you don't have to do it. But having said that, you need to replace it with something else. Now, it is not competing with Sesotho, it is not competing with Afrikaans, it is not competing with Swahili. So meaning that you cannot just go and choose any other module that is a language, but it has to be a module that is approved within your degree. If you are a Nguni speaker, Nguni being Xhosa, Zulu, Siswati, there's a lot of them. If you are a speaker of one of those languages, you can actually go for an assessment with our languages department, and they value or they rate a competency of the assessment, and then they can tell us if you should be granted an exemption from the Zulu. I know there's a lot of other queries that I didn't cover in this talk, but the most important of all is that the only way we can communicate with you is virtually for now, because you are not yet registered, or you are registered, but you don't have access to campus because you don't have a student card. All the processes require that because our processes are mainly online. What we need from you is to always have your biographical and contact details updated. Update your details. You lose your cell phone, you get a new number, you change your email address, update your details, because this is the only mode of communicating with you so far. It's helpful as well, because what if you need something from us and we can respond after hours, we can't see your face, we need to have updated details on the system. So I beg of you to please have your details updated all the time on the system. I think for now I will end here, not unless I have left anything out that could be some query that I can attend to. Thank you so much, Dr. Jerry.
Thank you very much for that presentation. I think it's offered some good enlightenment of the way forward in terms of students and registration issues. Maybe I can request, I know you are very busy because at the same time you're trying to deal with the students that are coming in. So maybe if you could be possible to just be available in the next few minutes so that when we open for questions, I'm sure there will be a number of questions that are registration related. So as the person who is more enlightened, you'll be able to give us some direction. Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, now we've reached the point where we are opening the floor for our question and answer sessions. Well, just before we get to that, I can see there's a hand up from a colleague. Petlego, would you like to make a comment?
Yes, actually, it's directed to Ms. Pindi. I got a lot of questions regarding that. Students actually didn't submit all the documents. Maybe they submitted one and they left a proof of payment and all those. Is there a way for them to actually resubmit the documents?
Thank you, Peteko. We actually don't approve the admission, the acceptance, if there's insufficient documents. So what we do is we will respond, they will get an email. That's why the biographical communication details must be updated all the time. They'll receive an email from our office saying, you are required to upload this and this document. Remember, the acceptance of offer system, based on the offer, it will give you the documents that you need to click on. If you've got an offer with race, your system, the page that you look at will have acceptance of offer of residence, indemnity and consent form, and the rest of the forms. So if you see a form there, know that it is there for a reason. Do not skip it. Click on it, upload it, complete it, and send it back to us. I hope I've answered that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think while you're still on, we are to just so that we can give you time to attend to your other work. Maybe we would like to just open up the question and answer session now, because that's the next session that we're going into. But I would like to request, and maybe Ms. Langa could help us out here, that we can sort of like deal with the questions that are dealing with registration. So maybe you can answer those things at one go, and then we can release you and move on to other questions. So at this point, we'd like to open it up for a question and answer session. Colleagues, friends, and all of you who are joining the university community right now, I'd like to ask you can we ask all the questions that are related to registration, as many as possible now, and then we have to let go of the good lady who has come to help us out attend to these issues. So please, those that have got questions with regards to registration, could you raise them now, and we'll open the floor. I'll leave it to Hazel for your guidance.
Okay, we have Leah. Leah, please go ahead and open your mic. Leah? Leah, please unmute. Okay, while they're still busy, let's see. Let us allow Nathan Chetty. Nathan, please unmute. We tested the system. Okay, it looks like Mobile Butelezi will be able to pose a question. Go ahead, Mobile.
Hi guys, I just wanted to ask, how long does it take for you to receive an email after you have registered?
Okay, thanks, Nobile. I think let's take a few of them so that then she can just deal with them as a batch.
All right.
Yes.
Let's see now. Nathan. Let's allow Nathan. Nathan, please unmute and pose your question. Let's move on to Apila. Apila Novo. Wait, I'm not sure what's happening.
Nathan, I saw, did you manage to unmute yourself, Nathan?
Yes, Nathan, please go ahead.
Hello?
Apila, you can go ahead.
Yes, hello.
Go ahead.
I've started my registration. Now I'm waiting for an email. They said I would receive an email to continue my registration. So I have not yet received that email.
Noted, Apila, thank you. Nathan, you had your mic open earlier. Please try again. Go ahead. Yes.
It's Anile here. I'm having a problem with my registration. Yesterday I tried registering, but it was written under qualification. It was written social work, but I only got a offer from LLB. So I was trying to register, so I can't proceed with my registration as it written social work. But I've been receiving emails from the College of Law and Commerce. I'm at the College of Law and Management Studies. I've never got anything from humanities.
Noted. Let's try Unati because I've been Unati. Oh, Nathan is. Nathan, go ahead.
I think Nathan might be having a problem with his devices. Maybe let's move on. I would like to ask those that have responded, have asked their questions, please could you put your hands down so that we can just see new hands?
Let's take Snegoku Kumalo. Go ahead.
Hi, ma'am. I just wanted to ask about the timetable blocks because when I was registering, I didn't get the option to pick any timetable blocks. Will that kind of like affect my registration in any way, or is it okay that I didn't pick any timetable blocks?
Thanks, Ne. Let's take Sibongile Sambo. Go ahead, Sibongile. Okay, it looks as if Unati is back. Unati, go ahead.
Hi. Regarding the acceptance offer email, what happens when you haven't received that yet? I was supposed to expect it sometime this week.
Noted. Apila, do you have a question? Go ahead. Okay, let's take Ngosi Shangase. Ngosi.
Hello, I'd like to inquire about something. I registered already with PMP campus, but I also applied for a campus transfer to Westport. I'd just like to ask, when will those applications be finalized? Thank you.
Noted, thank you. Let me see who else we have. Zwandile Ngombo, go ahead. Okay, looks as if Zwandile is struggling. Let's take Aisha Abba. Aisha, go ahead.
So I registered for a BCom in accounting, but I want to change to a BCom general. And I've asked the question here, and they said I must get an internal transfer form, but I can't find that form. But I can't find that internal transfer form, and
Sorry, Aisha, you are muted. Please.
Yeah. So I can't find the internal transfer form, and I don't know where I must submit this internal transfer form.
Did you get that, Pili?
So I want to. Did you get my question?
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go to. Trying to get people to the bottom now. Let's take Sisanda Myende. Sisanda. Let's take Mihara.
Yes, hello.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's go ahead.
Can you be able to transfer from BCom general to BCom accounting, even like you can still like meet the requirements for BCom accounting? Can you still be able to do that?
Noted. Mzwan, you still have a question?
Yes. I just wanted to ask how to register for resident. I've already registered for my degree, but I've not registered for resident.
Noted. Aisha, yes, we'll take a question for your hand. All right. I think we have, covered everyone. So you can go ahead, Pili, and respond.
Thank you. Thank you for all the questions. I think the first one I would like to respond to is the residence registration. That is for resident office. Where I am, I'm in the academic office, so I will not be able to answer that in an efficient way, so I wouldn't even try. The second question was about forms. I've placed the 2 links on the chat. Those 2 links will be your best friends. You will find forms that are relevant to you as a student. that you need to use, the change of curriculum form, the internal transfer form, and any other form, change of biographical details. I've put the links on the chat. Use those, go through them, all right? The questions about changing the qualification, especially if somebody said from accounting, BCom accounting to BCom general. The BCom accounting entrance requirements are higher than the BCom general entrance requirement. Doesn't mean to say there's a superior or lesser degree. It's just the kind of content that you need and the level of competency that you need from your metric subjects. If you are moving from a BCom in accounting to a BCom general, you can make that move. It's not a very difficult move, especially if you are still in first year. In first year, the curriculum structure is almost similar, so you don't lose a lot when you do that change. My question that the inquirer didn't quite get into providing me details about is, are you already registered, or do you want to change because you've got an offer and now you want to apply for something else? These are two different processes. Once you are registered, this will answer the other questions relating to this as well. Once you are registered, you cannot make a change of mind. Once you are registered, it's an internal transfer. Somebody has already alluded to it. It's an internal transfer because now you are transferring within the registration. So you're no longer applying for a degree that is maybe from matric and you are applying as an applicant. You are already a student, it's an internal transfer. So you need to complete an internal transfer form for that. Even if it is now, when you haven't started your classes, you haven't started your lectures, you haven't started any academic activity. Once you are registered, you have modules that are active on the system, then you must complete an internal transfer form. If you want to change the degree before you are registered, there is still an application. You are not registered yet. You need to complete a change of mind form. That will be updated on the system, and then the selection criteria will be applied to see if you meet it. Changing campuses, that also, it falls within the same category. It's either you are changing a campus for the degree that you've been offered, or a degree that you're already registered for. I think if our attendants can mute themselves, then we will be clearer. Thanks. If you are applying for a change of campus from PMB to Westville, you already registered, it's also an internal transfer. If it's a change of campus before you are registered, it's a change of mind. So those are two different processes. For a registration that did not show the timetable blocks, some qualifications, especially in first year or in the foundation phase or one of those, you might not find the blocks, the timetable blocks on your registration. If they are not there, if they are not provided for you, do not worry about it. That means there's another way of handling the capacity of students in that lecture. You are fine. But if the blocks are there, your registration will not go through without you have to select those blocks. So you do have to select the blocks. The issue about the social work degree, I think I've attended to this one on the Q&A. It is quite possible that you were offered social science last year. The system that the university system won't just pick a degree and offer you a degree that you didn't apply for. My assumption, and what I know from experience, you were probably given a conditional offer. And that conditional offer, can you just give me one moment?
Dr. Jerry, there was a question. Oh, okay, please back.
Sorry about that. Sorry, there was just noise in the background because I'm in the office. So I was saying the social science, the social work issue, the offer that is showing now, that I can guarantee it's an offer that was made either last year during the conditional offer session or early this year. So the applicant needs to go and decline it. As I had said when I was talking, you need to decline the offer. You can't just leave the offer in the system without making that decision, because you can't do more than one degree when you register at the university. So you got to choose which one you want to have or you want to pursue. The emails about registration, I think we are confusing accepting an offer and registering. Those are two different processes. Accepting an offer, yes, is done on the system. It does look like a registration. That is where you upload your documents and then you get correspondence to say you can go ahead and register. Once you are registered, you don't require any further email or any further communication to say you are now registered. You actually log on onto the system, you create a LAN password, you go into Student Central, and you can retrieve your proof of registration. So after registration, there will be no further communication to say now you need to register because you're already registered. We communicate after you've accepted the offer that you can go ahead and register, and we provide you with a link to do that on your email. I think I've covered the questions that I've taken down, even though I consolidated some questions into one answer. But I'm happy to be still here if there's more questions.
There is one very important one about transferring from BCom General to BCom Accounting later. I think this one is very important because I also keep getting it. Yeah,
Right.
Clarify that.
Okay. As I said, the entrance requirements for the 2 degrees are different. If you are moving from BCom General into BCom Accounting, are you doing this before you register, or after you registered, or after you've done your first semester? 3 different phases. If you are doing it before you are registered, you are still in the application stage. So we will look at your matric score, your matric achievement, and see if you meet the requirements for the accounting degree. If you are doing it once you are registered, immediately once you are registered, we will still look at your matric because you haven't written any exams at the university. If you are doing it after the first semester of registration, after you've written exams, we have to look at your matric still. And most of the time, if you do not meet that entrance requirements from matric, we do not allow you to go into the BCom Accounting. Years ago, we used to allow you to finish the year, and we will assess your scoring or your achievement in the first year of study in your BCom General and see if you achieve the adequate requirement that is set by the School of Accounting. And then if you meet it, you move. Lately, we are not able to do that. I know that question is coming across because our students and our applicants obviously know what we have done before. So that's why I'm choosing to answer it this way. But a move from BCom General to a BCom Accounting degree requires you to have the matric requirements, basically. Is it okay, Hayes?
That's if you you've started your first year and you've completed your first year of the BCom General, it will be possible because we don't base this, the transfer on your performance in your first year of the BCom General. It's
yes, you need to have it on
your yes, yeah. So students, please be careful there because we are getting queries from students who are already in the system, but I guess maybe they missed orientation or they were not. They are now disappointed that they cannot move from BCom General to BCom Accounting. So it's just not possible once you've started. Thanks. Okay, Dr. Joe, Jera, we can take another round of questions. Which area do you want to tackle now?
I think unless there's only one question that I'm seeing coming through from the chat that is registration related. And the question was asking where to submit the internal transfer form to. Other than that, I think we can go to other general queries. I think we have really used up our good resource to answer all the questions that are registration related. And thank you so much. Like I'm saying, this is a very busy time for you and we acknowledge that. So, you know, you being here with us, we don't take that lightly at all. So I think we can release her and we can move on to any other general questions.
All right, can I just provide that email address for
Yes,
internal transfer forms? It's our college generic email address, and then when you email, it will be directed to the correct officer that deals with your surname and your degree. I will just put it up on the chat, but I will say it as well. It's CLMS, that stands for College of Law and Management Studies at ukzn.ac.za.
Thank you
So
very
that's
much.
the email address that you can use.
Yes, and guys, the email address has been put up into the chat. So anybody who is got that question, and I hope, Michaela, you've seen that. So that's the email you should address the internal transfer to. Thank you very, very much for your time.
It's only a pleasure. I'm still here. I will answer more questions if they are.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So guys, if you have any other questions that are registration related, I think let's give it one last round. If there's anybody who would like to ask, can you ask? Otherwise, we open it to general questions as well. So I think let's open the floor to all kinds of questions. Yes.
Nkosi Shanga, so you can go ahead.
Hi again. I'd just like to know when will the internal applications be finalized, since the campus transfers, since lectures are starting next week, Monday.
Noted. Mobile, you are next.
I want
Mobile's network, yeah, it's giving her problems. All right.
I just heard
maybe Mobile, pose your question on the Q&A chat facility, and then we will take Leah. Leah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm having trouble joining the WhatsApp group chats. Please, can you assist?
Leah, there's I can just immediately take that question. I think you're not looking through the chats. First of all, the WhatsApp groups, keep trying them. If they're not working through, I have posted a new links that are already there. So you can also use that. If you have trouble going into the old links, then please just make sure you use the links that are there right now. I've actually pasted them again.
I've tried all of the links, but they're not working for me. They're just like loading.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a network speed issue also. So you have to just be a bit patient. Remember, this is registration. So a lot of people are putting through, but if it continues, I'm putting in my email address right now. So just send me an email and then we can resolve it from there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have Mbalenhle Mthembu. Please go ahead.
My question is, where do we submit the change of mind form? Do we submit it to the same email that the change of internal transfer form goes to?
Yes, Ms. Pindi Simelan has just posted that now on the chat. Please take a look at those two email addresses. The other one was at ukzn.ac.za, but please take a look at the chats for the links from Ms. Pindi.
Thank you.
Thank you. Apiwe, do you have a question?
Hi, I'm having problem with my student enabler. I need to upload my acceptance forms and my indemnity, but it's not, I can't access it. Its status is saying awaiting your attention.
Pindi, Dr. Jared, is there anything you can, the student can?
Yes, I think I would like to hand it over to Pindi to take because she's more well able.
Okay, can I just ask a few questions from is that Mbale who was talking again, Hazel? Mbalenhle?
I think
Yes.
Yes. Is it awaiting for your attention or is it saying no further?
It's awaiting my attention.
So when you click on the arrow down, what do you see?
It says, wait, can I go to it, please? It just says, just awaiting your attention because I got sent a picture from my mother. So she didn't click down the arrow, but it is awaiting your attention.
All right. If it says awaiting attention, that means it's something that you need to do on your side. I just wish I had a view of your screen. If you can you send me a screenshot of what you see? You can send it to Simelane. Can you see my surname on the details on this podium?
Let me check. Yeah, I can see
Okay,
it.
you can see my surname. It's just my surname. It's at ukzn.ac.za. Then we can have a look and see, because if it says awaiting attention, it's mostly something that you need to do on your side.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
No problem.
We have Zamo. Zamo, please go ahead. And I will take two more after Zamo, because it is 12 o'clock sharp. We have to end the session. Go ahead.
Oh, hi. I wanted to say that I paid my registration fees last week, Thursday, and I used the incorrect reference. I used the reference number for accepting an offer. So I wanted to ask, what should I do in that instance?
Okay, I think I'll jump in again here, Hayes.
Sure.
What reference did you use to accept the offer?
My first reference number was my student number, and then I had to enter a second one. I used the reference number that came with the offer.
All right, we're talking about two different times. The reference that you use when you're accepting the offer, what reference did you use on that?
It's the reference that I got from the SMS that I received.
With your student number?
Yes.
Right. When you're doing registration payment, what reference did you use?
I used both again.
Okay, and that is not incorrect. Or what gave you the impression that it's incorrect?
Oh, yesterday I called the PMB fees department and they said I was not supposed to use the reference for accepting an offer. So now they said that I should send an email, and I sent it yesterday. I'm still waiting for financial clearance.
All right. Did you explain to them that it's got your student number? Because any reference that is made, your account at the university is your student number.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, then it will be sorted out. It's not incorrect. If you use the student number and something else, it will be easier to pick because your student number is there.
Okay, thank you.
It will be sorted out. Okay. Hazel, I think there's a question I didn't answer about the campus transfer.
Okay, go ahead.
We are working on the campus transfers. There's quite a lot of them. And considering that it's not just our office that's involved in handling those, we have to work closely with the academic leaders who are also academics and many other things that are taking place. But we are working on those, and we make sure that all of those are actually updated and everything is completed by the cutoff of registration and the start of lectures.
All right, colleagues, it is 3 minutes after 12. Dr. Jerry, may I please hand over to you?
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I'd like to thank you very much for your being in attendance. Before we go, I just wanted to make a quick note that tomorrow we are going to be looking at curriculum advice. That is for the specific degree programs that you're in. So get curriculum advice for those that are doing your BCom accounting, for those that are doing your BCom general, and so on and so forth. So please make sure you attend tomorrow's sessions, and those that have got program-specific questions, use that time, ask your questions, get as much information as you can so that you can make your transition comfortable, smooth, and you have a good time here. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, you've chosen to be part of one of the best universities in the country. Enjoy the experience. Thank you very much for being in attendance, and I'd like to hand over back to Hazel.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jerry. Just to remind students, if they do not know how to access tomorrow's sessions, please just visit the College of Law and Management Studies Facebook page. All the links are there. Visit the university website. The information is there. The College of Law and Management Studies website. The program is there with all the links. So do not get lost tomorrow. just attend your session. So if you are registering for the LLP, just attend the one for the LLP. If you are in the School of Accounting, Economics and Finance and Management, IT and Governance, just attend that session. It will start at 10. It will take about an hour. Academics will be there providing academic advice to all of you. So please, please, please do not miss out on this one. Over to you, Dr. Anna.
Okay, thank you, Hazel. Thank you, Dr. Jared, and all our FYE coordinators. Thank you, Pindi. I just want to also add that for students who are registered for the Bachelor of Commerce Foundation program, you will have received a private link, maybe a link sent to your emails or WhatsApp groups for the session that we are going to have tomorrow. So for those of you who are registered for the foundation program, please attend tomorrow's academic advising session, using the link that you have received from CCPO. Thank you.